starting at this time, but translations had to be complete. So we now start, and we will now give this time honorable ministers and heads of delegation to the delegation of Botswana to just update us on the credentials from the Committee on Credentials. Botswana, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairperson. A very good morning to you all. Following my earlier reports made to the Regional Committee in my capacity as Chairperson of the Committee on Credentials, I have the honor to report that Chad has now submitted formal credentials. Therefore, all the 42 member states who are participating in this session of the Regional Committee have submitted formal credentials, which are in conformity with Rule 3 of Procedures of the Regional Committee for Africa. As the work of the Committee on Credentials is now completed, this will be my last report, Chairperson, to the Regional Committee. I would like to express my sincere thanks to other members of the Committee on Credentials for their support in our work, and also to the Regional Committee for its consideration of our reports. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Let me thank the delegation of Botswana for that very good work so far. Every morning you have been giving us that report and updating us. Thank you very, very much. Distinguished delegates, we will now begin our session with the consideration of Agenda Item 22 on the adoption of the report of the Regional Committee. Document AFR/RC 67/18, including the procedural decisions of the Regional Committee. I've just been informed the Secretariat has distributed hard copies of the English and Portuguese versions of the report, and we are aware now the electronic version of the French version is now on the applications. But I also know that the procedural decisions, the report on the procedural decisions, is available in all 3 languages. So maybe we'll go to the procedural decisions before we come back to the actual report. Yeah, and we also wish to just remind ourselves and wish all the Islamic faithfuls of Happy Eid, which starts today. So if you could go to the procedural decisions, which I know are in all 3 versions, we can look at those decisions. Decision number 1. Election of the chairperson, the vice chairpersons, and the rapporteurs of the Regional Committee. In accordance with the Rules 10 and 15 of the Rules of Procedure of the Regional Committee for Africa, the 67th session of the Regional Committee unanimously elected the following officers to serve on the Bureau of the 67th session of the Regional Committee. Chairperson, Dr. Pagwesese David Parenyatwa of Zimbabwe. Vice Chairperson, Mr. Andre Mama Faude of Cameroon. Second Vice Chairperson, Dr. Raymonde Goudou Kofi of Cote d'Ivoire. Then we've got the 3 rapporteurs, 1 English from Nigeria, then the French Professor Mami Lalatiana from Madagascar, and the Portuguese representative Dr. Maria Palma from Sao Tome and Principe. Decision 2 was the composition of the Committee on Credentials, and in accordance with Rule 3C of the Rules of Procedures of the Regional Committee for Africa, the Regional Committee appointed a Committee on Credentials consisting of the representatives of the following member states: Benin, Botswana, Kenya, Mali, South Africa, Togo, and Uganda. Decision 3, report on the Committee on Credentials. This is an important part. The Regional Committee appointed representatives of the following 7 countries, as I have just enumerated. And the Committee on Credentials met on the 28th of August and elected Mrs. El Habib, Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Health and Wellness in Botswana, as its chairperson. The committee reviewed the credentials submitted by member states and mandated each chairperson to examine and approve on its behalf the credentials submitted after the meeting of the Committee on Credentials. As reported to the Regional Committee by the chairperson of the Committee on Credentials, the credentials of the following member states were accepted: Algeria, Angola, Benin, Botswana, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, Cabo Verde, Chad, Comoros, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Kenya, Lesotho, Liberia, Madagascar, Mali, Malawi, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, Niger, Nigeria, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Swaziland, Togo, Uganda, United Republic of Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. The 42 member states participating in the 67th session of the Regional Committee have therefore submitted credentials which were found to be in conformity with Rule 3 of the Rules of Procedure of the Regional Committee for Africa. The following member states did not take part in the 67th session of the Regional Committee: Central African Republic, Guinea-Bissau, Mauritania, Rwanda, and South Sudan. Decision 4, draft provisional agenda, place and dates of the 68th session of the Regional Committee and place of the 69th session of the Regional Committee. In accordance with decision number 4 of the 66th session of the Regional Committee, the committee decided to hold its 68th session in Dakar, Republic of Senegal, from the 27th to the 31st of August 2018. The committee reviewed and commented on the draft provisional agenda of the 68th session. The committee requested the Secretariat to finalize the agenda, taking into account suggestions made by member states. In accordance with Resolution AFR/RC35/R10.1, which resolved that the Regional Committee shall meet at least once every 2 years at the Regional Office, the Regional Committee proposed to hold its 69th session at the WHO Regional Office for Africa in Brazzaville, the Republic of Congo. Decision number 5, membership of the Program Subcommittee. Having considered the need for membership of the Program Subcommittee to be compliant with the new terms of reference adopted on the 66th session of the Regional Committee for Africa, the Regional Committee decided that the Program Subcommittee should be composed of the following member states as from the 67th session of the Regional Committee for Africa: they are in sub-regions 1, 2, and 3. Liberia 2015 to 2018, Sierra Leone 2015 to 2018, Mauritania 2016 to 2019, Nigeria 2016 to 2019, Senegal 2017 to 2020, Togo 2017 to 2020. Sub-region 2, Kenya 2015 to 2018, Uganda 2015 to 2018, Ethiopia 2016 to 2019, Sao Tome and Principe 2016 to 2019, Rwanda 2017 to 2020. Cameroon 2017 to 2020. Sub-region 3, Namibia 2015 to 2018, Seychelles 2015 to 2018, South Africa 2016 to 2019, Botswana 2017 to 2019, Zimbabwe 2017 to 2020, and Angola 2017 to 2020. Decision number 6, nomination of representative to serve on the special program of research development and research training in human reproduction. And this is membership category 2 of the Policy and Coordination Committee, PCC. The term of Mali and Mauritania of the HRP Policy and Coordination Committee, PCC, under category 2 will come to an end on 31st December 2017. Mali and Mauritania will be replaced by Namibia and Mozambique for a period of 3 years, with effect from January 2018 to 31st December 2020. Namibia and Mozambique will thus join Mauritius onto the PCC. Designation of member states of the Africa region to serve on the executive board of the WHO. The regional committee designated Gabon to replace the Republic of Congo on the executive board with effect from the 143rd session in May 2018, immediately after the 71st World Health Assembly. Gabon will join Algeria, Benin, Burundi, Swaziland, and United Republic of Tanzania and Zambia. The term of office of the Republic of Congo on the executive board will end with the closing of the 71st World Health Assembly. The regional committee further designated Swaziland to be proposed for election as vice chair of the executive board as from the 143rd session of the executive board. The 51st World Health Assembly, by resolution WHA 51.26, decided that persons designated to serve on the executive board should be government representatives, technically qualified in the field of health. Decision 8, method of work and duration of the 71st World Health Assembly. President of the World Health Assembly, the chairperson of the 67th session of the Regional Committee for Africa will be proposed for election as president of the 71st World Health Assembly to be held from 21 to 26 May 2018. Committees of the Assembly, the following member states will be proposed to serve on the committees of the Assembly as follows. A, Burkina Faso as Vice Chair of Committee B. B, Cameroon as Rapporteur of Committee A. C, based on the English alphabetical order and sub-regional geographical grouping, the following member states as members of the General Committee: Botswana, Gabon, Madagascar, Mauritania, and Nigeria. On the same basis, the following member states as members of the Committee on Credentials: Lesotho, Niger, Sao Tome and Principe. Meeting of delegations of member states of the Africa region in Geneva. The regional director will convene a meeting of the delegations of member states of the Africa region to the World Health Assembly on Saturday, 19th May 2018 at 9:30 a.m. at the WHO headquarters, Geneva, to confer on the decisions taken by the regional committee at its 67th session and discuss agenda items of the 78th World Health Assembly of specific interests to the Africa region. During the World Health Assembly, coordination committees of delegations of member states of the Africa region will be held every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. at the Palais des Nations. Honorable ministers, heads of delegation, Is the committee content accurately reflect the decisions made by the committee? Any comments? Yes, Uganda.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for taking us through these procedural decisions. I want to confirm that it does reflect the decisions of the committee. However, Chair, recall that we moved a little faster, and what was supposed to be tackled today was tackled yesterday. So I want to make a special request regarding decision 4 on the draft provision agenda, place and dates of the 67th 8th session. That's on page 3. Specifically, Chair, I want to make a request on the draft provision agenda that we make an amendment for the 68th session. Recall, Chair, that I did talk about the issues around infertility, and members are aware that reproductive health remains a priority area and has been so even during the MDG era. Our focus, however, as countries, when talking about reproductive health, is always on the contraceptive prevalence rate. We talk about the adolescent birth rate, the antenatal care, and the unmet need for family planning, ignoring a very critical area, which is infertility. And yet it is a critical component of reproductive health. Aware also that, according to WHO, about 25% of couples in developing countries suffer from primary and secondary infertility. Chair, you're also aware that in most of our countries we have so many clinics which are dealing with issues of infertility, and these remain unregulated in our countries. And therefore, Chair, want to propose that as part of our agenda for the 68th session, WHO considers having this item on infertility as an agenda item so that we can discuss this at that meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Uganda, for pointing out that you wanted an amendment to include the subject of infertility. I want to ask the Secretariat to take note of that and see that we include infertility into our program. Technically, we're not really reopening the debate, but we'll just be flexible a bit. Senegal, I notice you got your flag up.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président, pour votre indulgence. Ce n'est pas pour lancer un débat, mais plutôt pour une clarification au niveau de la décision numéro 5. Quand on voit les différentes listes proposées au niveau des 3 sous-régions, on a des écritures en gras et on ne connaît pas la signification des pays et des pays pour lesquels l'écriture est en gras. Est-ce qu'il y a une signification particulière, s'il vous plaît? Merci.
Thank you. I'll ask the Secretariat to respond to that.
Thank you very much, Chair. These are incoming. Ce sont des pays qui vont entrer maintenant dans donc pour l'année prochaine dans le comité, dans le comité. Donc ça veut dire que les autres sont déjà là. Le Sénégal, le Togo, etc. vont commencer dès que maintenant. Ça veut dire qu'ils vont participer au processus pour la séance 68. Merci.
Okay, thank you, RD. I noticed, I think is it Nigeria or Namibia? Is it Nigeria? Nigeria, you got the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's just an observation on page 1. The Honorable Minister of State for Health for Nigeria his name is wrongly captured. That's not his name.
Thank you. Can we have the correct name?
Ehanire, Ehanire.
Yes,
Thank
I think that's a very important thing to do. Okay. Okay, having said that, I see no other flag. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we take this as accepted. Thank you. Honorable Ministers, heads of delegations, we now want to consider the actual report, and I'm aware that the French version has just been put on the app, and the English and the Portuguese versions, I want to think that they've been circulated. So yes, so maybe to be fair to the French, maybe we give another 15 minutes for them to look at it, and then we can discuss it. I think the others have already had time to look at it, but if we said perhaps 15 minutes, just to browse through it and absorb it, and then we can then resume at 10:15. 11:15. 11:15.